Have you ever had a gut feeling that someone is thinking about you, even when they're not around you? It's an unexplainable sensation that seems to come out of nowhere, but somehow you just know. Well, in this video, we're going to delve into the mystery of this feeling and uncover the 5 signs that someone may be thinking about you. Are you ready to find out if that special someone is on your mind as much as you're on theirs? 1. They call or text you out of the blue. If someone suddenly reaches out to you after a long period of silence, it could be a sign that they've been thinking about you and wanted to connect. This sudden communication could be a sign that they've been missing you and wanted to reach out and see how you're doing. It could also be that they had something on their mind that they wanted to share with you, such as a funny story or an interesting piece of news. Either way, this unexpected contact is a good indication that you've been on their mind and that they value your friendship or relationship. It's important to remember that this sign alone is not necessarily proof that someone is thinking about you, but it can be a strong indication when combined with other signs. It's also important to consider the context and nature of the communication. For example, if someone only contacts you when they need something or when they're bored, it may not be a sign that they're thinking about you. On the other hand, if they make an effort to initiate contact and engage in meaningful conversation, it could be a sign that they value your presence and your thoughts. 2. They mention something you talked about before. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and then, out of the blue, they'd bring up something that you talked about before? It's almost as if they can't stop thinking about it. Well, this could be a sign that they've been thinking about you and the conversation you shared. Maybe it was a joke you made that they found hilarious, or a topic that you both found really interesting. Whatever it was, it stuck with them and they couldn't resist the urge to bring it up again. This small gesture shows that they've been thinking about you and the connection you share. This sign can be especially significant if it occurs after a long period of time. If someone brings up something you talked about months or even years ago, it could be a sign that they've been thinking about you and that the conversation had a lasting impact on them. It could also be a sign that they value the connection you share and want to keep the conversation going. Again, it's also important to consider the context and nature of the conversation. For example, if someone only brings up things you talked about as a way of starting a fight or making fun of you, it may not be a sign that they're thinking about you. On the other hand, if they bring up the conversation in a positive or nostalgic way, it could be a sign that they value the connection you share. 3. They show interest in your life. Have you ever had someone ask about your day or seem genuinely interested in what you've been up to? It's a small gesture, but it can mean a lot. This could be a sign that they've been thinking about you and want to know more. They might ask about your plans for the weekend or how your latest project is going. They could also inquire about your friends and family, showing that they care about the people in your life. All of these actions show that you've been on their mind and they want to be a part of your world. It's a subtle way of showing that they care about you and value your presence in their life. This sign can be especially significant if the person makes a consistent effort to show interest in your life. If they regularly ask about your day or check in with you, it could be a sign that they're thinking about you and want to stay connected. If someone only shows interest in superficial topics or only asks about you when they need something, it may not be a sign that they're thinking about you. On the other hand, if they ask about deeper or more personal topics and seem genuinely concerned about your well-being, it could be a sign that they care about you and want to be a part of your life. Pay attention to the way they communicate with you and how they make you feel. This can give you valuable insights into whether they're thinking about you and value your presence in their life. 4. They mirror your body language. Have you ever noticed someone unconsciously copying your gestures or mannerisms? It can be a subtle, yet powerful way of connecting with someone. If someone is mirroring your body language, it could be a sign that they've been thinking about you and are trying to subconsciously connect with you. It's a way of building a connection and showing that they're in sync with you. Pay attention to the way they move and how it reflects your own body language. It could be a sign that you've been on their mind and that they value the connection you share. To identify this sign, pay attention to the way the person moves and how it reflects your own body language. Do they cross their arms when you do, or do they nod their head in agreement when you make a point? These small gestures can be indicators that they're thinking about you and trying to connect with you. It's also important to consider the context and nature of the body language. If someone only mirrors your body language as a way of mocking or manipulating you, it may not be a sign that they're thinking about you. On the other hand, if they mirror your body language in a positive and genuine way, it could be a sign that they value the connection you share and want to build a rapport with you. 5. They get nervous or blush around you. Have you ever noticed someone getting flustered or turning red when they're around you? It's a common physical sign of attraction that can be difficult to control. If someone seems nervous or blushes around you, it could be a sign that they've been thinking about you and are feeling attracted to you. To identify this sign, pay attention to the person's body language and look for signs of nervousness or discomfort. Do they get flustered when they're around you or have difficulty making eye contact? Do they fumble their words or fidget when they're talking to you? These behaviors can be indicators that they're feeling attracted to you and that you've been on their mind. It's important to remember that this sign alone is not necessarily proof that someone is thinking about you or is attracted to you, but it can be a strong indication when combined with other signs. It's also important to consider the context and nature of the behavior. For example, if someone only gets nervous around you when they're in a large group of people or when they're in a high-stress situation, it may not be a sign that they're thinking about you or are attracted to you. On the other hand, if they consistently display nervous or blushing behavior when they're around you, it could be a sign that they value your presence and have feelings for you. It's also important to remember that people can have different reactions to attraction, and that some people may not display obvious physical signs of attraction. Some people may be more reserved or may not feel comfortable displaying their feelings. So there you have it, the 5 signs that someone may be thinking about you. But don't take our word for it. Pay attention to the way the person behaves and how it reflects their thoughts and feelings. While these signs can be indicators that someone is thinking about you, it's important to remember that everyone is different and may show their thoughts and feelings in their own way. The best way to know for sure is to communicate openly and honestly with the person in question. Thanks for watching. Do you have any other signs to add to the list? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Together, we can learn more about the subtle ways that people show that they're thinking about us.